Think of somebody wearing a dark jacket, neatly dressed and walking with dignified purpose through the posh eastern suburbs of Melbourne as though he belonged. I continue on home after the evening slog. This morning it's a hostel. I'm in my mid-30s and have been homeless, living rough on and off for over a decade. I'm also in the throes of a chronic drug addiction, having dabbled in alcohol, marijuana, recreational drugs since my late teens. I've moved on to heroin. This morning, though, it's morphine and pethidine. I follow a bottom trail along the Yarra. The sound of the water is soothing, and it adds a damp freshness to the air that is familiar, calming and pleasant. I use this trail often as a means to get out of queue unseen, walking along the bridge. Those of us familiar with the area know to cut through the boat shed, scurry down to the trail below and cross the flattened area of the local footy ovals. It can be risky wandering across an open ground because you're easily to spot. And this is the place where the Jacks, police, like to do their early morning divvy wagon police van rounds. But over time, I've become familiar with their schedules. If I need to stay out of sight, I'll duck into the women's toilets, which always smell way better than the men's filthy urinals. I'll pull out a book and indulge in my beloved reading. Once the coast is clear, I'll make a quick exit and head to another of my favourite haunts, Collingwood Football Oval. It's perfect for a bit of shut-eye. You don't go from the scene of the crime straight to your place. It's a bit of a tip-tap-toe, dashing from one cover to the next, giving you a bit of space between destinations. Today, there's no one around. Before I near the boat shed, I pass an outcrop of rocks nearby. Something compels me to glance up. I become aware of a warm glow, a powerful presence before me. I take a slight step back and see an apparition of a Blakfella on top of the rocks. Red headband, skinny legs, squatting on one of the rocks, looking down at me. I feel no admonishments or disapproval from this figure. There's a part of me that is self-conscious initially, but it feels like somehow or another, in this moment, there is something trying to bridge the gap of my denied cultural history to set me back on track. Others might find it spooky, hair-raising stuff, but I'm not frightened. There is no verbal communication between us, just an unspoken understanding that extends well beyond the limitations of words. Perhaps he's an embodiment of someone who has survived the frontier wars and massacres, or maybe an ancestor keeping black watch over me. Either way, the vision I experienced that night gives me clarity and purpose. It guides me to return to my roots, to stand tall and be proudly, unapologetically Aboriginal. But then I am, after all, stuffed to the gills on drugs, so I continue on my route to seek sanctuary at the hostel in Fitzroy. Following a hearty breakfast and good cheer, I surreptitiously count my ill-gotten gains, then head out to connect with one of my dealers. A routine that is tiresome and compelling, with the repetitiveness draining at every turn my soul. Chapter 1. Stolen. Thanks to Australia's shameful assimilation policy, I was snatched like a little lamb from my young mother Blanchie Charles's breast at the tender age of 4 months, placed into the city mission home for babies in Melbourne's inner north suburb of Brunswick. I became a ward of the state. I was kept there until the age of 2, then moved on to the next institution, Box Hill Boys Home.